Okay, so I'm building a drone, and some of the parts for that drone came in. Not all of them, not nearly all of them, but a few really important parts. That's the battery, prototyping boards, and a Bluetooth connector. So the main thing of this battery, actually, let's talk about this first. So when you first look at a drone, the first thing that you see is this huge transmitter that costs like $50, and then and then the receiver on board, which is about this size. And I decided not to, in my first drone, I decided not to build or buy something like that. I decided to build my own controller, and so this is a Bluetooth sensor. It's an hm-10. It has 4 pins, and it will be relaying controls from the smartphone app, and it will send them to the Teensy flight controller, and the Teensy flight controller will control the drone, send those signals to the ESC, and it will control the drone based on my inputs on the smartphone app. And usually for Bluetooth sensing stuff, they use something like an H7 or an H6 sensor, but here I'm using an hm-10, which is kind of different, and the main difference that I found was that it's apparently low energy. And for something like controlling a drone, I think you would need something that doesn't consume a lot of energy, because the Teensy can only probably draw out so much amps, or I think that's how it works. I'm not sure, but low energy would be good to control a drone. This would allow not only to be drone to be controlled with smartphone, but also Internet of Things stuff with like controlling like larger appliances, maybe LED strips with a phone, or like larger home appliances with a smartphone control. So I have the drone frame coming in like a month or so, and until that time, I'm going to be prototyping with this, learning how to use this, and try to control a bunch of stuff on my Arduino Uno with this. I'm going to be using Android Studio to develop the app, so hopefully I'm successful in that. So no no transmitter, no receiver, just a Bluetooth receiver and a smartphone app that will transmit to this. So that's really fun. This is the instruction manual that came with it. It states the version and the Android version and the Bluetooth version that your phone needs. So that's the biggest thing for this project, controlling the drone with smartphone, and then I'll have a Jetson Nano as well, and some object detection stuff which will come later. But for now, I have the battery and this prototyping kit. The battery, I was looking to get a lower C rating. The C rating basically dictates the thrust that your drone will get, and a 50 C rating is pretty good. 100 C rating is a really good. But the main thing for this drone was to be able to do gesture control and face control with Jetson Nano. And I think this C rating and this milliamp hour will be just enough to get those things done. I was looking for a higher milliamp hour and a lower C rating because I had big enough propellers and motors that kind of optimized the largest thrust value, so I didn't need to worry too much about that, but more on the flight time, which is dependent on the milliamp hour. But I couldn't find a battery like that, so I just bought something like this. It's pretty good for the flight time and for the C value. So what I'm confused is, so this goes into the balancer, which is the charger. I have that coming in another shipment as well. And then this plugs into the power distribution board. And it's a female connector, I think. And they threw in a XT60 connector. I don't know why. I think this is a female connector or male connector. I think this would be, yeah, I don't know how to use this yet. But when I get the power distribution board with the drone kit that I ordered, I'll probably find out. I don't know, they'll connect some way. Yeah, I think that's all for the battery. Very fun stuff. I was most excited about this Bluetooth sensor that I can't wait to start developing for. And then last but not least, this huge box over here. It's basically a prototyping kit. So when you make drones, usually the first build is you buy everything like pre-made and you just hook up the wires. I didn't find any I didn't find any value in that. I might as well, make some things custom to learn some stuff. And so one of the things was how I'm controlling with a smartphone, and how I am planning to use a Jetson Nano, and so also a TNZ flight controller. So I decided I might as well also use a perforated board, or a solderless, or not a solderless breadboard, but a perforated board, or I guess like a PCB with holes on both sides, whatever you want to call it. A strip board? No, it's not a strip board, but it's a really nice quality. You know, with those brown perforated boards, people complain that once you solder them and desolder it, the plating comes off. But I heard that these ones are pretty solid, and they have these edge connectors, which I don't really know how to use, but that will be fun. The biggest thing about this was, this is not that big, and this is the biggest size that comes with this kit, and I made the good decision of buying standoffs, so these holes will come really handy with stacking up these boards if the drone frame, like if the circuitry doesn't all fit in one board, I can stack it, and like on the drone frame I can have a stack of 2 boards, and it'll look really nice, it'll look really tacky. so yeah, I have a few more different size boards as well. I guess I can show one. They look really nice, and I don't know, maybe all of them will fit into one of those. So that's one of them. And then the biggest thing, not the biggest thing, but the biggest, you can't forget the header pins. So I have like 400 or 200 male header pins in here, female header pins in here, and obviously this is really important. If you're going to use these boards, you're probably going to have microcontrollers on there and breakout boards on there that you don't want to stay on there forever. So you're going to use these boards, or use these pins, plug in those controllers and plug them out, and use them for a different project if you have to. So this is what I'm going to use to plug on my TNZ flight controller, my this thing, the Bluetooth receiver goes right in, very nice, very fun. And yeah, so that's kind of the plan with this drone. If I get more success, or like, so I have a bunch more shipments coming in, and I'll start to build right away on my breadboard, solderless breadboards, and that'll be really fun. But as those shipments come in, I might decide to make more videos. I just wanted to make this video because I got all these exciting parts and I wanted to talk about them to myself. So yeah, the main thing for this drone is to do gesture control, and hopefully I'll be successful in that. If not, we'll see. And as those parts come in, I might even make videos on those if I feel like it. But yeah, I got the battery, got the prototyping kit, and the Bluetooth sensor. So that's it.